Welcome to the ultimate guide for Vesna, 5-star Anemo sword character, releasing in patch 7.1. Vesna serves as an on-field DPS, featuring high 354 base attack and 19.2% crit rate ascension bonus. Keep in mind that all numerical data, mechanics, and talent names discussed here come from the beta phase, so they may still have changes or adjustments prior to her official release. Stellar-Swirl is the elemental reaction triggered by inflicting Anemo on a target that is already affected by Cryo Aura, which basically convert regular Cryo Swirl reaction into new reaction called Stellar-Swirl. After a Stellar-Swirl reaction is triggered, certain nearby characters will also enter the Radiant Stellar-Swirl status for 8 seconds, which enhances certain talents and abilities. Also, when Stellar-Swirl reaction is triggered, it will deal an Anemo damage and creates object called Stellar Vortex that will explode after 3 seconds and dealing AoE cryo damage. If you triggering Stellar-Swirl for the 3rd time in this 3-second time period, the Stellar Vortex will level up and deal greater damage with wider AoE upon exploding. If Stellar-Swirl is triggered 3 more times again, the Stellar Vortex will explode immediately. The aforementioned damage can crit. Up to 1 Stellar Vortex can exist on the field within a certain range. When the Stellar Vortex explodes, it will also grant nearby characters the ability to jump higher once for a short time. For her normal attack, Vesna performs up to 6 consecutive strikes. Her charged attack quickly thrusts at enemies in front of her. Her plunging attack is standard, just like any other sword wielder. There is nothing particularly special about her normal attack talent. For elemental skill, when it pressed, Vesna slashes enemies and deals AoE Anemo damage. After that, Vesna turns into a special mode for 15 seconds and grants stacks of sword energy. While in this E-skill mode, Vesna's resistance to interruption increases, preventing her from easily getting knocked back by enemy attacks. In this mode, all of Vesna's normal, charged, and plunging attacks are converted into Anemo damage that cannot be overridden by any other elemental infusion. Whenever her normal, charged, or plunging attacks hit an enemy, she summons a wind pinion that joins the attack and deals additional Anemo damage. Every time this wind pinion is summoned, it restores 1 sword energy. The damage from this wind pinion is extremely small, so its primary function is applying Anemo and restoring those sword energy stacks. Whenever you have sword energy during her E-skill mode, Vesna's E-skill button changes into a special skill. You can consume 1 sword energy to unleash this special skill, which deals Anemo damage. Using this special skill features a leveled system from level 1 up to level 3. Each time this special skill unleashed during a single E-skill mode session, its level increases sequentially from level 1 to level 2 and maxes out at level 3, which deals higher and higher Anemo damage at each level. Now, the unique part comes from using special skill at level 2 and level 3. When you unleash special skill level 2 and level 3, Vesna not only deals Anemo damage, but also triggers an additional hit called Spirit Blade. If your Vesna is currently in the Radiant Stellar-Swirl state, this Spirit Blade attack will be treated as direct Stellar-Swirl damage. To summarize it, Vesna presses her elemental skill, immediately entering her special 15-second mode, giving her basic attacks an Anemo infusion and converting her elemental skill into special skill. She also gains 2 stacks of sword energy upon entering this mode. From here, you simply press her special skill and spam her Anemo-infused normal attacks. You press the special skill to deal level 1 special skill damage, then spam normal attacks to summon additional Anemo attacks called Wind Pinions, which also restore sword energy. Once sword energy is restored, your special skill is ready. Press it again to deal level 2 special skill, alongside with an additional Spirit Blade attack dealing stellar damage. Then, you spam normal attacks again, restore sword energy, and cast level 3 special skill along with another Spirit Blade attack. After that, keep attacking, and once level 3 special skill is ready again, cast it again. Level 3 is the maximum level for Vesna's special skill. There is no level 4 or level 5. Once you unleash level 3 special skill 3 times, Vesna's elemental skill mode ends immediately. It can also end if the 15-second duration expires, or if you switch Vesna off-field while during her E-skill mode. Once this mode ends, any remaining sword energy is removed. In total, per single E-skill mode, Vesna can cast her special skill up to 5 times in this exact order: Level 1, Level 2, Level 3, Level 3, and Level 3. And as a note, most of Vesna's attacks in this E-skill mode is deal anemo damage. Only the Spirit Blades from special skill Level 2 and Level 3 deal direct Stellar-Swirl damage. Her elemental burst deals nuke damage, unleashing a large AoE Spirit Blade attack. And because this is a Spirit Blade, Vesna's burst also deals Stellar-Swirl damage. Casting her elemental burst also regenerates 1 sword energy. So you could say that during Vesna's E-skill mode, you need to cast her burst right into the middle of her basic attack and special skill combos, because this burst deals great damage and refunds 1 sword energy. Skipping it would be a huge waste. Passive 1. Every time Vesna unleashes a special skill or burst, she gains 1 stack called Disciplinary Action for 20 seconds, capping at 6 stacks. This passive boosts the damage of her Stellar-type Spirit Blades. At maximum stacks, her Spirit Blade damage increases by 160% of its initial base damage. This damage bonus only active during a single E-skill mode session. Passive 2. This passive grants stat bonuses based on your party's elemental composition. For every Cryo or Anemo character in the team, Vesna gains 6% attack. For every character outside Anemo or Cryo, Vesna gains 25 EM. For example, if your team consists of Vesna, Faruzan, Odette, and Cryo Traveler, Vesna gains total of 24% attack. Passive 3. When Vesna is in the party, every Cryo Swirl reaction triggered by your team converts into Stellar-Swirl. For every 100 attack Vesna has, team-wide Stellar-Swirl damage increases by 0.7% up to a maximum of 14%, meaning Vesna needs to reach at least 2,000 attack. Triggering a Stellar-Swirl reaction places the team in the Radiant Stellar-Swirl state, which in this case allows Vesna's Spirit Blade damage to convert from regular Anemo damage into Stellar-Swirl damage. Passive 4. When outside of combat, holding sprint or jump allows Vesna to fly, consuming stamina over time. You can press jump or sprint to make her fly higher. Specifically in area of Snezhnaya, you can immediately swap to Vesna while your active character is airborne to make her enter this flying state instantly. This mechanic is similar to Natlin's Night Soul transmission. This is quite rare these days, but for Vesna, you need to level up all her talents. First priority is E-skill to level 9 or Crowned, as her special skill will be cast repeatedly and serves as her largest damage contributor. Second priority is Burst to level 8 or higher, because her burst deals massive direct Stellar-Swirl damage. Third priority is Normal attack talent to at least level 6. Vesna's elemental skill talent only provides the Anemo infusion for her normal, charged, and plunging attacks, but has no damage multipliers of its own. Thus, the damage for those infused attacks scales off her normal attack talent. Level 6 is sufficient, but higher is fine if you have the materials. For energy recharge, aim for around 130% so you can burst consistently. If your team has a Favonius weapon user, or if Vesna equips with weapon with energy restoration effects, you can lower her ER requirement to 110 to 120%. Her best artifact set is 4-piece scarletproof with attack sands, attack goblet, and crit circlet. For substats, focus on crit, attack, EM, and ER. If you don't have an attack sands or attack goblet yet, you can temporarily use EM main stat. Make sure to avoid using an Anemo damage goblet, as Anemo and other elemental damage doesn't affect Stellar-Swirl damage calculations. Why is 4-piece scarletproof so good? Because it grants 18% attack, 16% crit rate, and 40% Stellar-Swirl damage bonus, which all extremely useful for raising Vesna's Stellar-Swirl damage. Furthermore, the 16% crit rate bonus is something you won't find on substitute artifact sets. For stats, aim for minimum 2000 attack, minimum 60% crit rate, ideally 70%. If playing outside double cryo teams, max cap your crit rate at 84%. Crit damage, 160% minimum. Higher is better. ER around 130% or 110% to 120% if you run a battery unit or energy restoring weapon. No fixed numbers for EM, just put whatever you got from substats, weapons, or team buffs. For note, all these numbers represent base stats visible on the character screen. It's not showing Scarletproof's crit buffs, double cryo resonance, and team or weapon buffs. Her second best artifact option is 4-piece Gilded Dreams with good substats, providing attack and EM bonuses that directly boost Stellar-Swirl damage. Her third best set is 4-piece A-Day carved from Rising Winds, giving a consistent 43% attack. However, its 20% crit rate bonus cannot be triggered by Vesna because it is restricted to Hexarai only. I only have 4-piece Viridescent. Can Vesna use it? Yeah, however its damage output is lower than Scarletproof. If Vesna uses Viridescent, ensure one teammate runs 4-piece Instructor for team-wide EM buff, typically used by a Nemo character like Ferozan or Sucrose. For remaining options, 2-piece mix sets Attack M, or MM work as temporary placeholders. No doubt, her best weapon is her own signature. In fact, I'd say it's more worth pulling her signature weapon than Vesna itself. The stats and effects are insanely good and versatile. As of making this video, her signature has no official name, but it features a 674 base attack and 44.1% crit damage. Whenever you use elemental skill or burst, you gain 3 sequential effects: Effect 1, Effect 2, and Effect 3. Effect 1 increases crit damage by 48% for 10 seconds. Effect 2 increases Stellar-Swirl damage by 28% for 10 seconds. Effect 3 regenerates 3 elemental energy. You might ask, Vesna casts 1 E-skill, 5 special skills, and 1 burst per rotation, totaling 7 cast. How does the weapon handle with only 3 effects? The weapon effects simply cycle from the start. Effects 1 and 2 refresh their durations, not stacking, while Effect 3 grants 3 elemental energy whenever you hit this stage. Her second best weapon is White Lake Frostfeather, Odette's signature, which offers massive benefits that Vesna can fully utilizes. Her third best option is the new 4-star weapon, releasing on the 7.1 weapon banner. It has 510 base attack and 55.1% crit damage. At Refinement 1, its effect reads, in the 12 seconds after using an elemental skill, each time an attack's hitting opponents, increase attack by 4% and EM by 20 for 6 seconds, max 3 stacks, and can triggers during off-field. If the character is in Radiant Stellar state, the buff changes to 6% attack and 8% Stellar Conduct / Stellar-Swirl damage instead. At max 3 stacks, Vesna gets 18% attack and 24% stellar damage at Refinement 1. At Refinement 5, those numbers doubles to 12% attack and 16% stellar damage per stack, reaching 36% attack and 48% stellar damage at max stacks. Combined with 55.1% crit damage, R5 version makes this 4-star weapon her third best pick. Note on Primordial Jade Cutter. This weapon can give high damage output, but its 44.1% crit rate creates a high risk of overcritting, exceeding 100% crit rate. With her Ascension stat, double cryo resonance, and Scarletproof, Vesna gets around 50% crit rate before weapon and substats. Adding Jade Cutter pushes her stats to around 99% crit rate without any artifact substats. For other options, use any crit or high attack swords. Any weapon aren't showed from this list means performs worse or releases after patch 7.1. As of making this video, her best team is Vesna, C6 Feruzan, Odette, and Cryo Traveler. If your Cryo Traveler is C6, total team damage increased even further. If Faruzan lacks 4-piece Viridescent, give her 4-piece Instructor. If you don't have the new 4-star bow, equip Favonius Warbow on Faruzan. For Odette in Stellar-Swirl teams, the F2P craftable Finale of the Deep is better than Emberwell, as Emberwell's effect is extremely difficult to trigger in this team. Vesna's team options are limited because Stellar-Swirl relies strictly on Cryo and Anemo, with Hydro Vodyanitsa as an occasional exception. Now, we talk about team rotation with Vesna, Faruzan, Odette, and Cryo Traveler. First, Odette used double tap skill, switch to Faruzan, unleash burst, switch to Cryo Traveler, use skill, followed by charged attack, then burst. Lastly, switch to Vesna and do her combo. Tap E skill, special skill level 1, special skill level 2, normal attacks 3 times, 1 charged attack, special skill level 3, burst, special skill level 3, normal attacks 3 times, 1 charged attack, then special skill level 3. After Vesna's combo done, switch to Faruzan. Use her skill to apply Anemo for shredding 40% Cryo Res with Viridescent, then switch to Odette to restart rotation. We can use special skill 2 times continuously right after tap E skill because we instantly got 2 sword energy from entering his E skill mode. What if Vesna's burst isn't ready? Reach her ER requirements. If you miss her burst, substitute it with 3 normal attacks plus 1 charged attack. The burst's function is for nuke damage and generating 1 sword energy, which normal or charged attack also can provide it. Then, you can cast burst later when it's ready. Skipping burst doesn't break the combo, but it causes DPS drop. Why 3 normal attacks and 1 charged attack? Her first 3 normal attack hits are fast, while the 4th hit has long animation with low scaling. Using 3 normal attack hits followed by a single hit of good charged attack damage is far more efficient. Vesna's gameplay is similar to Varka, just doing some skill, basic attack, skill, basic attack until all buffs expire. If you replacing Cryo Traveler with Cheeky or Vodyanitsa keeps the exact same rotation flow, simply swap Cryo Traveler's E-skill CA burst combo with just Cheeky's E-skill or Vodyanitsa's E-skill. If running Vodyanitsa, place her directly before Vesna so TTDSR 5 weapon effect passes its 48% attack buff straight to Vesna. C1 or signature weapon. Aim for signature weapon. Not because C1 is bad, but because her signature weapon is absurdly overpowered. Now, we talk about her Constellation. C1 allows Vesna to cast level 3 special skill 4 times instead of 3 times maximum at C0. Her first special skill cast became No Consumes Sword Energy, and Vesna grant 20% Stellar-Swirl damage during her E-skill mode. C1 R0 give a bit lower value than C0 R1. Getting C1 will also change Vesna's combo a bit. The combo adjustment look like this. C2 upgrades her passive 1, maxes out 6 disciplinary action stacks instantly upon Vesna entering E-skill mode. It make her Spirit Blade will always deals 160% damage from its base version. Also, Vesna got free 60% attack. C2 is insanely broken. C3 increase 3 E-skill levels. It's good, but stop at C2 is enough. C4 will triples her passive 2 values. At this point, Vesna can grants up to 72% attack in Cryo Anemo team setup. C5 increase 3 burst level. it just abridged to her C6. C6 have this effect. If you tap normal attack or skill within 5 seconds after a level 3 special skill is unleashed, it will unleash an extra special skill with damage of 150% attack. Also deals Spirit Blade damage with 200% attack. Restores sword energy, summons Wind Pinion, which deals Animo hit and grants plus 20% Stellar-Swirl elevation damage. C6, simply make your screen full of numbers due to aggressive multiple hits doing by Vesna. For vertical investment, get C0 Vesna, then signature weapon, C1, C2, and stop, or go straight to C4 and C6. C1 R1 is the most valuable target, with C2 R0 slightly below. Is Vesna worth to pull? It depends. Vesna is the strongest Stellar-Swirl DPS right now, followed by C2 Mizuki. However, C0 Vesna's damage is only slightly above C2 Mizuki and still close to C1 Mizuki. If you already own C1 or C2 Mizuki, or even at higher Constellation, you can safely skip Vesna. That's why Vesna's signature weapon is a higher priority comparing with the character herself. It grants 674 base attack and total 92.1% crit damage if the equipped character used skill or burst, making it the best stat stick sword in the game, even outperforming the 88.2% crit damage swords with only low 542 base attack. Who should pull Vesna? Any players without Mizuki constellations or lacking Stellar-Swirl DPS, players with Mizuki but get bored by her spin-hover monotone gameplay, players who simply love Vesna's design, voice, or stories. Vesna also a good pick if you're new players looking for a first limited 5-star DPS, thanks to her flight exploration mechanics and flexible team build, which easily help your in-game progress. I don't have Mizuki, and I don't want to pull Vesna because all of my Primogems is for Tsaritsa. Is there any other Stellar-Swirl DPS options? Theoretically, Sandrone and Cryo Traveler can play as on-field Stellar-Swirl, but their damage isn't that great if compared with their Stellar Conduct builds. Odette can trigger Stellar-Swirl, but she fit as off-field support. The nearest choice is Varka and Venti, because they can continuously deal Animo damage, which mean easy to trigger Stellar-Swirl reactions. But it doesn't change the fact about their kits cannot deal direct Stellar-Swirl damage like Vesna. That's why Vesna still sitting on her throne as a dedicated and strongest Stellar-Swirl DPS. Vesna is an on-field DPS, deals rapid Animo hits and heavy direct Stellar-Swirl nukes by her Spirit Blades. Vesna's multi-hit kit also triggers frequent Stellar-Swirl reactions to maximize Stellar Vortex explosions on the field. Combined with airborne flight mobility, easy to build, and strong F2P team comps, Vesna is a complete package for fun, exploration, and pretty unit. The only reason why Vesna isn't that strong because we didn't have a dedicated Stellar-Swirl support. If we have an Iluga buff type for Stellar-Swirl, or Yai Miko sub-DPS power for Stellar-Swirl, it will massively boost Vesna's team damage. Got questions or suggestions? Drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching and happy grinding, travelers.